The Kitchen Angle Show. A Jersey native. Home of everything and anything. Your host, Mike. Hey guys, welcome to another edition to the Kitchen Angle. I'm Mike. Oh boy, what a crazy week. What a crazy couple of months, right? Got a lot to talk about today on the Kitchen Angle. So much stuff to talk about. I mean, what's not to talk about, right? The state's now reopening little by little. Georgia is one of the red states to be reopening little by little. It just seems like most of the red states are wanting to get their states back, in business, so to speak. You have a lot of states such as New York City, New Jersey. It's just been hit, all around. Just crazy stuff. But we'll talk about a lot of stuff. I got that soundbite from President Trump, basically making sarcasm to the reporters about injecting Lysol into your veins. First of all, the president was joking around. It just shows you how much the media. I mean, they use anything really to try to sell a story to the American people. I mean, you got to listen to this. This is crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, really is. I mean, I shake in my head every time I hear this. President could tell you that there's peanuts falling from the sky, and then all of a sudden the media is going to sell it to the American people. It's just, I mean, has the country gone mad? You got to listen to this bite here.
Clarify your comments about injections of disinfectant. They're quite provocative.
I was asking a question sarcastically to reporters like you, just to see what would happen. Now, disinfectant for doing this, maybe on the hands, would work. And I was asking the question of the gentleman who was there yesterday, Bill, because when they say that something will last 3 or 4 hours or 6 hours, but if the sun is out or if they use disinfectant, it goes away in less than a minute. Did you hear about this yesterday? But I was asking a very sarcastic question to the reporters in the room about disinfectant on the inside. But it does kill it, and it would kill it on the hands, and that would make things much better. That was done in the form of a sarcastic question to the reporters.
But you were asking your medical experts to look into it. Were you being sarcastic with them?
To look into whether or not sun and disinfectant on the hands, but whether or not sun can help us.
I mean, it's just, guys, I got more to talk about this here, but this is ridiculous. This is Donald Trump actually having to clarify his sarcasm. He's talking about disinfectant on the hands, not injected into your veins. Has the media gone crazy? They got a little loco, right? Yeah. If you ask me, they've gone a little weird. Oh boy, it's just, when is the media ever going to stop? When are they ever going to slow the hell down with their reporting? I mean, they'll believe anything to sell a story. That's how the media works. Oh yeah, that's how they work. Yeah, they're nutty. They have a lot of problems, and they just, like I said, they'll sell anything. They really will. For a story, oh yeah. That's how it is. But with that being said, folks, we're going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back. You're not going to want to miss the next couple of segments I do on the show. Got some interesting stories today.
O que acende a sua vontade de começar algo? Tem uma faísca em você que te chama para empreender, investir, dar novos rumos para sua vida. E para todos os seus começos, você pode contar com Santander Select. Um banco mais pessoal, mais próximo, mais humano. Um time de especialistas com olhar atento para cada momento da sua vida. Porque você sabe, só quem já deu muitos passos está pronto para continuar começando. Santander Select. Começa em você, começa agora.
Hey guys, back to the show. I mean, we got oh god, talking about Trump being attacked by the media again by this disinfectant. Apparently, he said to the American people, a good idea, maybe possibly to inject disinfectant into your veins, which he didn't do. I mean, you even have other people like crazy Nancy Pelosi, the other day, basically having a press conference telling to the American people on Capitol Hill the other day that Trump is bad for the American people. He's going to kill us all and this and that, and what he said to the American people is just outright disturbing in my own personal view. I mean, it's just she lies upon her own lies. She's a fraudster. She's not the only one that's in her family that is a fraudster. There's other people in the family too that's a fraudster. She comes from a line of fraudsters. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy nonsense that we're living through. We're living through a probably one of the worst pandemics in history. The coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. It's affected a lot of different lives. Mainly, there's a new poll that's out that are showing essential workers are more depressed and showing signs of suicidal thoughts. From working through this. Many essential workers, such as healthcare workers, nurses, first responders, even people in the distribution fields, truck drivers, people working in distribution centers, warehouses, fulfillment centers, they're all showing signs of this. They're being overworked. People are, they're not as bad as a few weeks ago and, possibly a month ago with hoarding food and, going through shelves like it's the end of the day and the doomsday is upon us. They're not doing this anymore. I was just in the store the other day and I witnessed firsthand that the shelves are a little bit more stocked than they were, a few weeks ago. People are realizing that this thing is not, is not as bad as the media, hypes it up to be, because that's what the media is known for. They're known for hyping things up. They're known for hyping things up. But, what's this teaching us? I tell you what it's teaching us. It's teaching us that, we have to be more self-reliant, on ourselves. We have to take care of one another. We have to take care of ourselves mainly, practice good hygiene, and, just use basic damn common sense, folks. Common sense. You don't need an instruction manual to learn common sense. I've said it once and I'll say it before. Common sense will cure anything, guys. It really will, But, I'm starting to laugh about the whole just everything that's going on. I mean, I'm laughing about how the media is hyping it up to be more than it should be. You know what I mean? It's just people are starting to realize after what's this gone on? About 2 months now, month and a half, maybe 2 months. The American people are starting to realize that this thing is being overhyped. It really is. It's being overhyped. I was out the other day. I went out for a walk. Yeah, because I'm not going to be isolated in the house, all freaking day. You need to breathe fresh air. Can't be isolated in your house all day. You just can't. The human body wasn't designed that way, folks. It was not designed to be isolated in your damn house, all day. So anyway, I went for a walk, and I can tell you how this thing is overhyped. It's overhyped by a lot of different margins. I'm outside. I'm doing my little routine jog, walk, whatever you want to call it. Stay in shape, stay active. And I'm seeing people with masks, not over their face, guys, but it's below the face, it's below the mouth line. It's sitting right on the chin, And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, are they scared about the virus, or are they scared to come in contact with a person that has the virus? Or is it just, yeah, thank you, Mr. Pingman, a ping on that. Or is it just a fashion trend? I mean, hey, it's just, who would have thought, right? I mean, but with jokes being aside, guys, my opinion to it is, and this is my own personal opinion, you don't have to hold me to the bank on this, guys, but if you see somebody that's sick, what do? You walk the other direction. You walk the other direction. It's just, oh boy. Oh boy, when is it ever going to stop? When is it ever going to stop? The world may never know when this is going to stop. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. But another poll coming out of here that Americans are losing faith in what Trump says about the coronavirus. Oh boy, what is this coming out of? Boy, more fake news. Fake news is real, guys. It's not just a statement. It's real. Let's see here. Americans appear to be losing faith in what President Donald Trump says about the coronavirus pandemic, with almost everyone rejecting Trump's remark that COVID-19 may be treated by injecting infected people with bleach. Oh, there we go again with the bleach and disinfectants. He jokes. He makes a sarcastic remark the other day. What was it, 3-4 days ago about this? And then everybody loses their marbles about this. Oh boy, it's gonna be the new headline on CNN. I'm telling you, for the next couple weeks. The April 27, 28th public opinion poll found that fewer than half of all adults in the U.S., 47%, said they were very or somewhat likely to follow recommendations Trump makes about the virus. This is percentage points lower than the number who said they would follow Trump's advice in a survey that ran at the end of March. So about 98% of Americans, guys, they said that they would not try to inject themselves with bleach. I mean, come on. Are we to be that dumb and stupid? To believe somebody to say, "Oh, take disinfectant and inject it into your veins." I'm glad 98% of Americans said they wouldn't do that. Because it's just you don't do crap like that. You really don't. Oh boy, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I don't. Talking about medical experts immediately condemned the president's injection, and the makers of disinfectant products warned the public against ingesting them or injecting them. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to laugh, but this is just remarks of sarcasm at its best. Trump later tried to portray his remarks as sarcasm, but then the media took it as, oh no, Trump was serious. Trump said that you should immediately do this. It could help you. It could help you. Oh boy, I'm telling you. But we're looking at a poll right here that among registered voters, 44% said that they would vote for Democrat presidential candidate Joe Biden, while 40% said they would back Trump if the election were held today. Now, this is not true statistics of of this poll here, just what I just related to here with the presidential poll. This is coming out of Reuters and iPost poll that was conducted online. It polls guys. They jump from back, from back to forth. They go, they go up and down. So it's not accurate. It's not accurate at all. Not accurate at all. But what else do you want to know? We got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. A lot of stuff to talk about. I want to get more into this this Nancy Pelosi stuff, and what else is booming on the headline? Oh, AOC. Oh, AOC. We haven't seen her in a couple weeks. Oh boy, you ought to see the crap that's coming out of the far left. It's remarkable in my eyes that I see this Nancy Pelosi, lying about her own lies. Oh boy, and I got the proof too. I'll plug it into my show here in a bit. Hey guys, Mike from the Kitchen Angle here. I just want to say thank you and show my appreciation to many listeners. The show is definitely growing, and it's reached a lot of different types of listeners from Ireland. I've noticed from the United States, of course, and now reaching Canada. That's great news, guys. If you want to hear the show, you can always hear it on the Facebook page, The Kitchen Angle. Just search it under there. Or you can find it on many podcast platforms, such as Google Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and other platforms out there, guys. Wherever you find a podcast, you can just Google The Kitchen Angle and it'll pop right back up. Even on a web browser. Give us a try, guys. This podcast is it's unscripted. It's raw material. I give you the latest updates on everything that's happening in the world today. So give us a try, The Kitchen Angle, guys. You'll love it. It's not your ordinary podcast, I'll tell you that. Let freedom ring, let freedom ring. I mean, do you ever hear songs like that? Folks, these are old patriotic songs that, sadly, they seem like they cease to exist anymore in this great nation of ours, America. Let freedom ring, These are songs, folks, that people used to be proud of, used to basically just hold dear to their hearts. They would hold it dear to their hearts, and they would be so proud of their country, You don't see that anymore, folks. You know what you see now? You see nothing but greed, creed, violence, abuse, just everything in this country has turned into a third world nation. It has. Oh, it has. And it's sad because the amount of just everything we have wrong in this country today. We have so much wrong in this country today. It's terrible. It really is. Oh, it is. Oh man, you should hear the oh boy. And when I hear certain Democrats or, even Republicans, I don't want to bash Republicans, but some of them could be doing a little bit better. I want to mention about Governor Kemp of Georgia reopening his state, but hey, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and you got to do what's best, right? You got to get people back to work. But I agree with him on that, but I don't agree with him on all of it. But, also too, I want to say, when I hear Democrats, Oh boy, some Democrats they shouldn't be in office. It's the songs that were just played, folks, that really my heart bleeds out. It really does. It bleeds out of sadness because when I hear Democrats just saying some off the wall stuff, you know. I mean, there's a story here. I want to talk about Governor Cuomo, you know, on what he just mentioned here. He's talking about a lot of different things. He's talking about mainly on his what's going on in New York. It's unbearable. It's unbearable. He just said, what was it? I think I mentioned this the other day on the show. If not, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. That people in New York are crying for help. And you know what his words were? His words were, if you want to work, go work as an essential worker. They're hired. Essential worker. You can become an essential worker. They're hiring right now. You want work? Go to work. Cuomo, what is wrong with you? I mean, this is literally turned into a political brawl, so to speak. There's more on it too. There's more on what he had said. Oh boy, you should listen to this because it's just off the wall. Here, we're gonna have a bite here playing into the show here because like I said, this is turning into a political brawl. On comments, the difficulties some states face around with this coronavirus. It's unbearable. Oh, it really is. It's terrible. It's unreal. It's unreal stuff. It's just we're going through some crazy times. We really are. We're going through some tough times and you know, it's terrible. It's terrible on how some of these governors. Here it is right now.
Political brawl on state and local funding. Some of the elected officials in Washington are saying they're against it. They're led by Senator Mitch McConnell, who leads the Senate, who makes it blatantly political. No blue state bailout. No blue state bailout. What is he trying to say? The states that have coronavirus are Democratic states. And he's a Republican, so he doesn't want to help the Democratic states. He went so far as to say, well, he'd be in favor of the states going bankrupt. First, states have never gone bankrupt. States can't go bankrupt. There are serious constitutional questions about whether or not a state can go bankrupt, declare bankruptcy. And you need a federal law that would allow the states to declare bankruptcy, even if you got around the constitutional question on bankruptcy. So if he believed that, if it wasn't just political rhetoric and personal vitriol, then pass a law that allows states to declare bankruptcy. He would have to do that. And I dare him to do that.
He dares him to do that. Boy. You gotta shake your head on this. I mean, these are your state representatives, whether they're a governor or a mayor of a city of New York. You know, these are your state representatives that are talking like this. Mainly Democrats. This is turning into a political brawl over this coronavirus. It is. It's. Oh God, I don't understand. Are Americans starting to tune out blue state politicians? Yeah, they are. Because the reason why I say that is because you have governors such as Cuomo. You have governors. You have the governor of Florida. All these blue state governors are just are their behavior level is just outrageous. It's outrageous. Outrageous. I've never seen in my lifetime politicians acting this way. Never in my 38 years of my life so far have I seen just an argument. It baffles me. It really does. And it doesn't have to be this way. Doesn't have to be this way. This was 6 days ago here. I want to plug in another soundbite, okay? Because I want my listeners to understand what political war we are in, with this coronavirus. Because it's a political war. It's what you want to call it, a war, a brawl. It's nuts. This is now Governor Cuomo telling protesters to go take a job as an essential worker. I just mentioned that a couple minutes on the show. I was looking for a soundbite. I finally found one, because sometimes you got to play hunt and goose, with these soundbites. Some of them get taken off, some of them get, that are on. But this one seems to be pretty good. This is Cuomo telling protesters to take an essential job. You got to hear this. This is disturbing. It really is.
Questions for you and one for Melissa. I don't know if you can hear, but there are protesters outside right now honking their horns and raising signs. We did speak to a few of them before we came in. And questions for you and one for Melissa. I don't know if you can hear, but there are protesters outside right now honking their horns and raising signs. We did speak to a few of them before we came in, and these are regular people who are not getting a paycheck. Some of them are not getting their unemployment check. And they're saying that they don't have time to wait for all of this testing, and they need to get back to work in order to feed their families. Their savings is running out. They don't have another week. They're not getting answers. So their point is the cure can't be worse than the illness itself.
Yeah.
What is your response to them?
The illness is death. What is worse than death?
Well, what if somebody commits suicide because they can't pay their bills?
Yeah, but the illnesses may be my death as opposed to your death. They said the cure is worse than the illness. The illness is death. How can the cure be worse than the illness if the illness is potential death?
But what if the economy failing
Worse than death?
Equals death because of mental illness. The people stuck at home.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't equal death. Economic hardship, yes, very bad, not death. Emotional stress from being locked in a house, very bad, not death. Domestic violence on the increase, very bad, not death. And not death of someone else. See, that's what we have to factor into this equation. Yeah, it's your life, do whatever you want. But you're now responsible for my life. You have a responsibility to me. It's not just about you. You have a responsibility to me, right? We started here saying it's not about me, it's about we. Get your head around the we concept. So it's not all about you. It's about me too. It's about we. Also, I get the economic hardship. Everybody gets it. Everybody feels it. Federal government is sending out a check for individuals, $600, an additional $1,200. We are moving heaven and earth to get the unemployment payments going. So we get the economic anxiety. The question is, how do you respond to it? And do you respond to it in a way that jeopardizes public health and possibly causes more people to die. And think about it as if it was your family that might get infected, right? And that's what we're talking about. And when you think about it as your family, you have a different perspective. I'll tell you the truth. It's not an abstract argument where they say, he says, she says, he says, she says. I know that's how it works. Well, the protesters say this, governor says this, protesters say this, governor says this. Okay, think about it as your family might be in the mix. Because when I see 484 New Yorkers die, I feel that it's like people in my family. And nothing comes before the public health risk of somebody else's life. And that's where we are.
But they're also saying, if you can't afford to pay me unemployment or your system
you
is
will
not
be
set
paid.
up,
You will be paid
but
unemployment
they can't
from
wait
the day.
for they can't wait for the money. They're out of money.
Yeah, we're talking about a couple of days lag on the unemployment insurance, and they will get the check from the date of unemployment. It does not cost them an extra penny. Now, they can say unemployment insurance isn't enough. I get it. Even with the $600 check and the $1,200 check and the unemployment insurance benefit is not enough. I understand the economic hardship. We all feel it. The question is, what do you do about it? And do you put public health at risk? And do you drive up the number of deaths for it? Because you have no idea how to reopen now.
They're saying that, is there a fundamental right to work if the government can't get me the money when I need it? Is there a fundamental right
you want to go to
work?
work? Go take a job as an essential worker. Do it tomorrow. Right? You're working.
I am.
You're an essential worker. So go take a job as an essential worker.
But the people aren't hiring.
This is your governor. I mean, not my governor. I'm glad he's not my governor. I'm glad I don't live in the New York area anymore, because the New York area, folks, is I mean, they're in shackles, folks. They're in bad shape. They're in bad shape because they have bad leadership in that state. They have bad leadership all around that state. You look at people like Cuomo. You look at people like Ocasio-Cortez. You know, these are bad leadership people. Excuse me. They show no good leadership skills. They're lacking it. Something terrible. They really are. They really are. And people are crying for help. And what are they doing? All they're doing is saying this and that and this and that and this and that. And then he makes a comment. Oh boy. And this is what baffles me about Cuomo. He makes a comment saying, now you're responsible for my life. Since when did I get responsible, or anybody be responsible for anybody else's life? Responsible for your own life, your own choices, your own decisions. What you do with your life is your business. Now, I shouldn't be responsible for you because you make a bad choice, whether it's a health choice, whether it's a financial choice, whether it's a family choice, whatever choices you make in life is your choice. And I'm tired of hearing people saying you're responsible for me now because you're not wearing a mask, and you're not taking proper precautions, and you're not staying 6 feet away, you're not practicing social distancing, and you're going to the park, and you're going this and that. It's my choice, folks. Since when did our freedoms get stripped away from us? I'm telling you right now, guys, that the Constitution here in this country is literally been thrown on thin ice. You want to know what thin ice is? Go to states that have, almost year-round cold air. Go walk on thin ice, and you'll start getting real scared real right away, wishing you weren't on that thin ice. I'm telling you right now, the Constitution is on thin ice, and you got these people that are basically throwing it on thin ice because they're trying to change the landscape of what America is and what it was becoming under Donald Trump for the last 3 years. Donald Trump has basically been reforming this country to where it was once before. Make America great, keep America great. It's not just a slogan, guys. Look at your history books. This country was flourishing in its time. It was once the greatest country in the world, and it became the dump hole of the world from bad leadership, bad people that could care two shits about it. Guys, we gotta bring this country back. I mean, I'm for the governors, some governors, reopening. Yeah, reopening on a small scale, okay, little by little, not the whole, not the whole merry-go-round way. Open it up on a small scale, open it up on a very small scale, and then little by little, open it up day by day, and that's the way it should be. We can't have a country closed down just because of a disease. Our country has to be formed again. It has to have its economy back again. It has to have people working again. This country was never formed and was never designed to people living off the government. It was the worst decision I've seen. You've seen that through Obama, and you've seen it slightly through Bush and Clinton. It was never designed that way. It was never designed for people to live off of welfare and food stamps. It was designed for people to make change for themselves, to better themselves, to live happily and freely in this country. Everything has been stripped away. Everything. From sporting events to going to restaurants, going to bars with your friends or family or your buddies, going to parks with your family, your kids. Bringing your kids to theme parks, enjoying the smiles on their faces and memories to make. Everything, all that has been stripped away. For what? For what? We may never know the true aspect of this whole pandemic. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to go down in history books as one of the severest. I was talking about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi now saying that perhaps it's time to consider universal income, basic income. This was pushed, guys, by Andrew Yang. Remember Andrew Yang? Yeah, he was running for president. Well, his failed presidential campaign failed on that one thing alone, which was universal basic income. He pushed that for weeks and weeks and weeks, possibly months on that issue. Universal basic income. Basic income, guys, is great in some ways, but it's nothing great. It's nothing great. The House Speaker expressed a willingness to look into instituting universal basic income, which was the centerpiece, like I just mentioned, of Yang's campaign. Pelosi also appeared on MSNBC on Monday, this past Monday, and said the idea of guaranteed income was perhaps worthy of attention due to the coronavirus. So all of a sudden, because of the coronavirus, she's wanting to push this basic income. Let me just brief on what that was. On Yang's campaign trail, he pitched giving Americans over the age of 18 $1,000 a month every month. Can you imagine giving somebody over the age of 18 years old an income, whatever the hell you want to call it, a basic income, a universal income, $1,000 check from the government every month? You times that by 12 months, it's $12,000 for anybody over the age of 18. Now you times that by millions upon millions of people in this country. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Where's it going? It's going more money into the national debt. Like, we have a lot in the national debt as we have to work with. President Trump just signing a $2.2 trillion stimulus package to help people, out of work and people that are suffering from this coronavirus pandemic. Guys, this might not be hurting our generation or our parents' generation or grandparents' generation. It's hurting the next generation below us. And those people, our kids, their kids are going to pay for this. They're going to taxes are going to be off the charts in the next 10, 20 years. This is just wrong agendas. It's been called the concept of the freedom dividend. Well, there's no freedom dividend in this. All it is more debt rolled into the national economy. And you're not going to, I'm telling you right now, if we don't have leadership in this country that turns this country 360 degrees around into the country that it was 2-3 months ago, because I'm telling you right now, the country 2-3 months ago was on the right chart. It was on the right process. It was on the right path into glory. Now it's been kind of, going the other direction, almost like a time machine. We went into the time machine. We went into the DeLorean, and Marty McFly and Doc Brown put us back into the future. And we're repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's just Trump. He has to stop listening to people like Pelosi. He has to stop listening to people like Biden and all these other bad sources that are giving him just I don't want to call it advice, but just a bad path for this country. $1,000 a month, folks, is not going to help people. To an extent, it will. You're all happy now. You're getting all that extra money and this and that. It sounds great on paper. But reality, folks, does it sound good on reality? No, it doesn't sound good on reality. It sounds like shit, my taxes are going to go up in the next 5-10 years. That's what it sounds like. I'm going to be paying into this thing in the next 5-10 years. It's helping me now, but is it going to help me in 5-10 years? That's how you got to look at it as. Because these agendas, folks, they're never looked at that prospect. They're never looked at. They're always looked at, like I said, it always looks good on paper, but it never looks good in reality. Never looks good on reality. Never looks good on reality. And I can tell you what the initial jobless claims from February 8th on up to current time. February 8th, I can tell you right now, you would be shocked on how much unemployment claims were in this country. You'd be shocked. Because these are statistics that are coming from the Labor Department, okay? Official statistics from the Labor Department. On February 8th, there was over 204,000 people that claimed unemployment on February 8th. Do you know how many people right now have claimed unemployment just in the last week alone? In the last week alone. $4.4 million. Or did I say that right? No, I didn't say that right. Let me repeat that. I'm sorry, guys. I got a little winded here. Over 4.4 million people. There you go. That's the right way of saying it. 4.4 million. So it's dropped a little bit. Last month, in the middle of last month, it was at its highest peak of over 6.8 million people that filed for unemployment. So it's gone down a little bit. You know why it's going down a little bit? Because the jobs are slowly coming back. You're seeing states that are slowly opening again. So that's good. That's good. You know, and this is how unemployment will soar. Okay? In 2019, you've seen, and the reason why I'm telling you this, folks, is I'm going to explain to you why I'm going to this scenario here, and then I'll explain to you why the numbers are slowly decreasing from where they were. Okay? Because in 2019, okay, quarter four, we'll look at quarter four, the percentage of the workforce unemployed was about 4%, okay, in quarter four in 2019. In quarter three in 2020, was at an all-time high of 16%. 16% unemployed, okay? That was in quarter three in 2020. We're in quarter four now, currently, and it's slowly dropping. It's between a 10 and a 12. So you can call it about 10.5% unemployed. So the numbers, the margins are slowly coming down, and they're slowly coming down for one purpose. Because we're getting into warmer months, okay, and this coronavirus is dying out, okay? And people are slowly going back to work. And that's a good thing. That's a real damn good thing. Because I, like other people, want to see this country opened up. I don't want to see people, naysayers, saying, oh, it's too soon, it's too soon. No. It's not too soon, lady. It's not too soon, sir. You know, do you pay my bills? Do you put a roof over my head? Do you put food on the table? No, you certainly don't do all that, sir. You don't certainly do all that, ma'am. You know, if I have to go back to work and risk it for myself, my family, my friends, my loved ones, whoever I hold dear to my heart, I'm going to damn well risk it. If I have to put on a stupid freaking mask to prove that I have to be at work in order to follow their ridiculous policies of this mask, which I think is ridiculous, folks. You know, the only thing I say that will cure anything in this common world, okay, no matter where you live, is common sense. Okay, because that'll cure anything. Common sense is the number one cure in this world. It will. I'm telling you. You want to know how you can cure a virus, bacteria? Common sense. Walk the other direction. You see somebody sick, you walk the other direction. You don't go up to somebody and say, "Oh, hold on, cough in front of my face and so I can get this thing." No, you walk the other direction. It's common sense. But see, people today, they become so dumbfounded. They believe everybody. They believe the hype from the general media. They believe the certain politicians, public figures, celebrities, media, whatever. They believe all that because they're dumbfounded. You know, it's like we're going back to our children stages of life. You know, where you believe everything you hear. That's how it seems like it's going to. We believe everything we hear. Folks, like I said, you can believe what you want to believe, okay? But I'm telling you right now, don't let this thing control your life. Don't let your freedoms be stripped away. You want to go walk and get exercise? Go outside and walk and get exercise. Because I'm telling you right now, you can't get arrested for walking down the damn street to get fresh air. You can't get arrested for going to the grocery store to put food on the table for your children and your family. You can't get arrested for just going down the road, driving in your car to get leisure time because you've been cooped up in the house all damn day or all damn week or all damn month. You can't do it. This is freedom, folks. The government, local governments cannot strip your freedom away. With that being said, folks, thank you very much for joining into today's show. It's been a very interesting one today. Got a little heated on some topics there, but that's okay. It's okay. We always express ourselves and our views here on the Kitchen Angle. Folks, thank you very much. Be safe and always, I'm not going to tell you to practice social distance, but you can practice one thing right now, and that's called common sense. Practice it. It could save your life.
You just heard an episode of the Kitchen Angle Show, an Anchor podcast.